YouTube. In this video, I'll be speaking on why you need to start over, and the faster you start over, your dream life will come to you. I always speak on people always go back to their a familiar hell than rather face uncomfortability and live in a comfortable heaven. Like if you keep going back to what you only know what you know, right? If you only know what you know, then you only know what you know. If you don't go explore new things and go try different things, you only know what you know. You'll be stuck in the same cycle of a negative feedback loop. A negative feedback loop of not getting what you want. A negative feedback loop of getting wrong. A negative feedback loop in relationships, attracting the same person. A negative feedback loop in the same jobs you're getting. Negative feedback loop in meeting the same people, meeting the same friends. As within, as without. The faster that you start over, because people are so afraid to start over. Like me, I'm not afraid to be on training wheels for a long time. Like not even a long time. Like I'm not afraid to be on training wheels again. Like I feel like if you get the metaphor, like I'm not afraid to get back on training wheels. When I stopped playing football, like it was definitely a weird phase in my life. I started doing YouTube in high school, so like I kind of had something to like rely back on or lean back on when football wasn't going my way, right? So I kept going back in this negative feedback loop. I was playing football, wouldn't get offers. Playing football, wouldn't get looked at by coaches. Playing football, the coaches wouldn't play me. Playing football, I just kept getting done wrong. Politics, right? Negative feedback loop, right? I'm speaking on my experiences. Maybe in relationships, I have negative feedback loop. I'm messing with the wrong girls. Negative feedback loop. I'm working with the same jobs. Like it was just negative feedback loop. Negative feedback loop. You have to sit there and use your past and be able to look back at your past and use it to help your future. If you keep going back to your past, you're going to stay in your past. You have to be able to look at your past, learn from it, and move it into your future. Change that negative feedback loop. You have to try new things, do new things, create that new version of yourself. I speak on this all the time. Like, you have to really, really, really go do new things. Go try new things. Go experience new things. If you keep doing the same things over and over again, you're going to be the same person. And we're not meant to be the same person. That's God telling you, like, bro, go change. Like, bro, go do something. Go get up off your ass. Go change. Go be the person you want to become. Like, you'll create that person. People are so afraid to start over because they're afraid of being on training wheels. You can't ride a bike. You can't just off rip. You got to learn how to do it. You feel me? You don't know how to balance it, right? And I talk about it. It's not a metaphor I use. It's such things called good trauma and bad trauma. So let's say you're riding a bike with no training wheels, right? Let's say you get off. You're riding a bike. Boom. Whether this be in relationships too. So you get off. Let's say you're riding a bike. It's your first time riding a bike. You fall off. You hit your head. Damn. Well, if you don't ever get back up, that's you feel me? That's bad trauma. Like if you use that trauma, if you sat there and got traumatized because you failed and didn't try again, that's bad trauma. You letting that shit just phase you. You feel me? Like you're not sitting here trying again. And so you get back up the second time. You go a little further this time. Boom, you hit your head the other side. Damn. But if you keep going, finally you'll understand, okay, maybe I can't lean too far to the right. Maybe I can't lean too far to the left. Whether this be in relationships. You talking about, yeah, I don't, man, every girl's the same, bro. Every girl's the same. Every guy's the same. Well, if you sit there and think that, we'll become that. Don't sit there and use, bad trauma from you falling off your bike or, hitting your head to sit there and mess up your future, to not ride that bike again. Like, people are afraid to really face uncomfortability to sit there and be in a comfortable heaven. They'd rather go back to a comfortable hell that gave them a negative feedback loop and just kept going over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. You have to be able to start over. Don't be afraid to start over. I know as soon as I finished playing football, I was doing YouTube and I got into day trading. No, that's not what I do now, but I got into day trading. I wasn't afraid to get on training wheels again. Like I was eager to learn. You have to really, really be eager to learn. It's two types of people in this world, maybe three. Nah, it might be two. There's a person that's I'm gonna say three. It was the first person. As soon as they fall off that bike the first time, they're never getting back on the bike. They just said, fuck it. I just won't ride the bike. Fuck it. I won't learn. You feel me? You feel me? I'm gonna just stay here. I'm gonna just walk instead of riding the bike. And there's the second person. They hit their head a few times, hit it left, hit it right. Maybe got a little further on their second ride, and they quit after that. And there's a third person that just won't give up. And I'm that person. I just can't give up. Like my dad instilled into me at a young age, don't ever fucking quit. Ever. I feel like when I was playing football and I wasn't getting opportunities that I was getting, when I was doing a whole bunch of things and I wasn't getting opportunities that I was getting, man, I can't quit. Like, I'm delusional, like dead ass delusional, gang. Like, I'm dead ass delusional. There's nothing wrong with being delusional, but you just want to put that delusion in something that's going to give you a positive feedback loop, that's going to actually benefit you. Yeah, I kept getting negative feedback loops and just being delusional, thinking that I'm quitting. Gang, it's not quitting. I'm trying to actually benefit my life. So let me just put this same energy and attention and work ethic and delusion into something that will actually benefit my life. That's why I got into YouTube. So like every time I was going to a quarterback session, every time I went to a throwing session, I went to go throw in my high school. I went to go, because I was a quarterback. I went to go to workouts. I never missed workouts. Like, gang, that's why I do YouTube, bro. Because none of those things were seen. At least with YouTube, like, man, like everything that I do is a stamp. It's a time date on it. It's Sean was here this day, this day, this day, this day, this day. Boom. Okay, I have evidence of me being here. Bro, I was going to all these camps, all these trainings, all these workouts, bro, since I was 5, 6 years old, gang. And kept getting negative feedback loops. Since I was in Pop Warner, they didn't want me to play quarterback, gang. Since I was in Pop Warner, they didn't want me to play quarterback. But, when you put something on a pedestal in life, it kind of, it'll kill you. You can never put nothing on a pedestal in life. Like, you can have once, but you can't put nothing on a pedestal. Football, for me, felt like a bad bitch that never wanted me. For like, I'm sitting here chasing that girl that, you ever chased a girl or a dude, and they never liked you. Mind you, you have all the confidence in the world. You know you him, you know you her. But they just never wanted you. They had their eyes on somebody else. It's exactly what it felt like for me. And it just became a negative feedback loop. And you just have to, man, I just hit my head on so many other times. I was like, man, this is not for me. So maybe I was the second person in this scenario I'm talking about, but I'm also the third person because I knew that shit wasn't gonna stop me in life. I just said, man, you know what? I'm gonna go put training wheels and I'm gonna go figure this shit out regardless. Whether it be a new bike, maybe the bike wasn't for me, I'm gonna go get a new bike. But I wasn't gonna stop, bro. I was gonna get to my destination regardless. So I really want to leave you guys with this. Like, don't be afraid to start over. Like, don't be afraid to be on training wheels again. It's uncomfortable. You kind of don't know where to go. You just know you want to go forward though. Don't be afraid to be on training wheels. It's not a bad thing to be on training wheels. It's like everything's a game in life. I think everything is a game. If you don't know the rules of the game, how are you gonna win? So that's what I'm saying in the sense of training wheels. Like, you don't even know the rules of life, gang. You don't even know how certain things will end up. You don't even know if you're good at certain things unless you try it. Like, you can't be afraid to just try things. For just don't be afraid to try things. But in trying, you will see if this is for you or if it's not for you. You can visualize a life like this for you, or you won't visualize a life like this for you. I just want to make sure you guys know that you can do anything you want in this life, regardless of the stereotype. But if there is a stereotype, hop into a lane that it comes down to a matter of inputs. And if you're anything like me, your inputs are there every single day. Every single day. There's not a day that you don't miss. So make sure you're into something that doesn't have a stereotype. It just matters about your inputs. And only worry about your inputs. You can't worry on the outcome of certain things. You guys see I'm not getting a lot of views on my videos right now, but I'm still dropping. It doesn't stop me from dropping. Because I'm purposeful. Like, regardless of the views, bro, I want to really be the big brother I never had with this shit, Like, I don't even know. I didn't, bro. I raised myself, gang. Like, I really raised myself. Like, my parents are there for sure for me, for sure. But, like, gang, like, I don't want to say too much on YouTube, but, like, man, it was all me, gang. Like, it was all me. Yeah, it was there financially, but, gang, emotionally, actually being there, man, that shit was all me, bro. It was all me. Ain't nobody had to, Ain't nobody helped me through the emotions or guide me through the life that I wanted to live or had examples of a life that I wanted to live. Like, mind you, like, as a kid, man, I just always been a creative. Like, I've always been a creative, So it's a blessing that, football didn't work out for me because now I'm in a lane where it's my own, it's my own lane. Nobody does what I'm doing. For and I'm such a creative, bro. I'm just excited for what the future holds for me because as soon as I pop, you're gonna see a whole different Sean that I've never even seen before, that you've never seen before, So don't be afraid to start over. Do not be afraid to start over. Don't be afraid to get on training wheels and relearn something or learn something new. We're supposed to grow, build, and create. If you're not doing either of those, you're dying every single day. So I hope this message really resonates for whoever's watching it. Make sure you guys follow. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on all platforms. _ Sean McCoy on YouTube. Also on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. and then real Sean McCrow on Snapchat. Man, comment if these, comment on my videos if you guys really like watch all the way through, if these videos really help you. I feel like you guys are afraid to comment and shit. You never read all my comments, all of them. So yeah, I hope this video really resonated with you. Start over, start something new. Go create the person you want to become. I love you guys. He loves you more.